number 10, Disney led to 50 children falling ill with salmonella. Disney's 2010 movie The Princess and the Frog shows Princess Tiana kissing a frog, who is actually a prince under a curse. Now of course kids love a bit of Disney and will do anything to be like their favourite Disney princesses or heroes. Unfortunately, this meant that many young children copied Tiana's actions, kissing actual frogs hoping to find a prince. This directly led to over 50 children contracting salmonella, a type of bacteria poisoning. Luckily none of the cases were fatal, but it did teach these kids an important lesson. Never go around kissing frogs hoping they'll turn into princes. Like, most of the time, it just doesn't work. Don't snog a frog, you will regret it. Things are getting sexy here at number 9. Sex is spelled out in the sky in The Lion King and can be seen on the poster for Tangled. So I guess a few of you have already heard of Sex in the Sky in The Lion King, but it is impossible not to mention. With Disney, there is often sex in the air, like actually literally. As Simba contemplates his dead father, the word sex can clearly be seen in the stars. Now some say it says SFX, a nod to the special effects team. However, if this is true, why is the word once again clearly visible in the 2010 movie poster for Tangled? Feminism rejoice at number 8. Princess Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty, is only on screen for 18 minutes in her whole film. That's right, she may have the title role, but Sleeping Beauty is in the film for just 18 minutes with only 18 lines in the entire movie. The movie is 1 hour and 16 minutes long. I felt like she fell asleep, woke up and missed her whole movie. Problems. In at number 7, it would take 9.4 million balloons to lift up Carl's house in Up. Everybody loved Up, right? Personally, it had me in tears within the first 10 minutes and I was inconsolable for days. The most iconic moment in Up is when Carl ties helium balloons to his house in order to turn it into an airship-like vessel. Cool, right? Maybe, but Carl would have needed to be in it for the long game, as it would have taken 9.4 million helium balloons to lift up that house. Meaning, as an old guy, he probably would have died in the time that it took him to do it. That's right, in at number 6, guys with beards were not allowed into Disneyland, and this is a rule issued by Walt Disney himself. You know Walt Disney, the guy with the facial hair? Weird. In at number 5, Disney World is actually the same size as San Francisco. Spread over 25,000 acres, Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan and around the same size as San Fran. This is absolutely insane. Now on top of that, the hotels are so big on site, it would take 68 years to sleep in every room. Wowza. Things are getting even more shocking and even kind of morbid here at number 4. When the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride opened at Disneyland, it was decorated with real human skeletons. Disney, the family-friendly magical kingdom beloved by children, used real human skeletons to decorate the Pirates of the Caribbean when it first opened in 1967. Apparently this was on the order of Walt Disney himself. He didn't like the way fake skeletons looked. Seriously ramping up the crazy shock factor, in at number 3, if Finding Nemo was real, he would have turned into a woman and had sex with his dad. I mean, maybe that's what's coming in the sequel? If the story had played out in real life in the real ocean, the most likely response from the clownfish to the death of an offspring's mother would be for one of the males to develop female sex organs and mate with the remaining male. Not so child-friendly now. Now the shock just absolutely starts to pour at number 2 when I reveal that 3.4 million copies of The Rescuers had to be recalled because real boobs were seen in a frame. The videos, released on VHS, had to be recalled when it was revealed there was a photo of a nude lady sneaked into the background of 2 frames. The topless model can be spotted as Bernard and Bianca fly through the city. You can really actually see her in the window in the background. This kind of isn't okay for kids. We've had Disney including salmonella, we've had unrepresented heroines, we've had real human skeletons, we've had creepy fish sex, we've had sex in the sky, we've had boobs, but things are even crazier at number 1. So number 1 in our shocking facts about Disney is there are just so many penises everywhere. Disney reveals its truly perverted side as penis imagery can be spotted in way too many films. Bugs Bunny has been spotted with a boner, some have spotted what looks like Mickey Mouse hugging a big penis, and some have even claimed there are blatant shafts in Ariel's castle in The Little Mermaid. Now for me, the most shocking penis moment in a Disney film is in Ariel the Little Mermaid. It's when Eric is about to marry Ursula and the priest gets a little bit too excited, if you know know what I mean. Take a look at this footage. Now, some people have said that this is a knee, but for me, I don't think that men have 3 knees. Do they? In at number 9, Tangled and Pirates of the Caribbean are 2 of the most expensive movies ever made. Disney likes to splash that cash. So Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides cost $378.5 million to make, making it the most expensive movie ever made. Now this was closely followed by Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, which cost $300 million. Now the 5th most expensive movie ever made was Tangled, costing $260 million, making this the most expensive animated film ever. I guess it was worth it, people love these films. In at number 8 of our shocking facts about Disney, Disney was going to release a promotional wine alongside the movie Ratatouille. What goes well with kids? Alcohol, right? So alongside the movie Ratatouille, Disney Pixar were planning to promote the cartoon on bottles of 2004 vintage white Burgundy. Now Disney said it cancelled the promotion after being lobbied by California winemakers upset that they were using French wine, and also by those against underage drinking, which I think is kind of understandable. This would have been a very weird marketing tool indeed. A weird one for you at number 7, Walt Disney's last words were Kurt Russell. So on Walt Disney's deathbed, he wrote Kurt Russell on a piece of paper and then handed it to a person next to him. What does this mean? We don't know. So at the time, Russell was a child actor who had just signed a contract with Disney. Russell then went on to be a well-known Hollywood actor. What this means, we literally don't know. Kurt Russell himself is absolutely baffled. At number 6, Frozen was the first Disney movie directed by a female. Now Jennifer Lee was offered the role of co-director in 2011 after she co-wrote the screenplay. So all of the 52 animated feature films released by Disney in the 74 years before Frozen were all directed by males. Interestingly enough, when Walt Disney was alive, he actually refused to offer creative roles to females. He said that they didn't belong in the creative studios. Wow. Really sad at number 5, following the movie Finding Nemo, many kids flushed their pet fish down the toilet. So I absolutely love the movie Finding Nemo, but there was a lasting impression left on children, and that was death of their fish. One of the lines in the film is all drains lead to the ocean, however I'm guessing this isn't, a direct route. Yikes. The issue became so bad that the LA Times had to publish an article warning children not to do it. Even Ellen DeGeneres, who voiced Dory, warned children against this. She said it was not okay, please don't flush your fish down the loo. In at number 4, there are dead people in Disneyland. Aside from the real bones used in the initial Pirates of the Caribbean ride in California, there are an abundance of human remains across the Disneylands. Why is this? Because people like to spread the ashes of their loved ones there. Many people want the Magic Kingdom to be their final resting place. One mother even spread the ashes of her young son on the Haunted Mansion ride. Following that, there were reports of a little boy ghost dancing in the ballroom scene. Weird. In at number 3, over 20 people have died in Disney parks, with hundreds being injured. Now considering the parks opened in 1955, I guess this isn't that shocking. That said, some of the ways in which people died, well, they kind of were. In 2003, Big Thunder Mountain in California derailed and killed a 22-year-old man, 10 others were also injured. In 1984, a 48-year-old woman was thrown from the Matterhorn ride and killed by another bobsleigh. In 2004, a boy died after falling from the Roger Rabbit cartoon spin, and in the 80s, one person was shot and another stabbed in the parks. In at number 2 of our shocking facts about Disney Part 2, many Disney movies are based on R-rated stories, aka not safe for kids. For example, Jungle Book is based on a story where a boy and his animal friends team up to kill people. In the Brothers Grimm original story of Snow White and the prince go red wedding on the evil queen, inviting her to celebrate their special day, then making her dance in a pair of red hot shoes till she dies. The Lion King is roughly based on Shakespeare's Hamlet, only Simba goes on to achieve success and happiness, whereas Hamlet, not so much. It's a literal bloodbath where almost everybody dies. Finally, the original Little Mermaid was somewhat darker. When Ariel grows legs, it was excruciating for her to use them, and in the end, in order to save her prince, she ends up committing suicide. Not quite the tale that Disney told us. In at number 10, Ursula is Triton's sister. Say what? Yep, that's right, Ursula the Sea Witch and Triton the Sea God. In the 2006 Platinum Edition DVD release of Ariel the Little Mermaid, deleted scenes revealed that Ursula is Triton's sister, making her Ariel's evil aunt. I mean, I'm shocked. This maybe would explain some of the jealousy and the source of Ursula's power. However, I for one need more context. Unfortunately, this concept was not used in the final film, although it is often discussed in spin-off material and is heavily referenced in the Broadway musical production of The Little Mermaid. In at number 9, a Disneyland ride ends in hell. Like actual hell. So Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is an original ride at Disneyland, California, having opened alongside the park in 1955. Now, part of the ride features Mr. Toad driving into oncoming traffic, then going straight to hell. The devil's there, just hanging out, doing his thing, terrifying the children. Excellent. In at number 8, Disney has been accused of plagiarism. So where does Disney get their ideas for their epic tales? So many sources are developed and cited, such as Hans Christian Andersen's work on The Little Mermaid. So one of the first times Disney was called out for plagiarism was for copying the story of the Lion King from a Japanese movie called Kimba the White Lion. Now, during which many aesthetics and plot parallels can be drawn, including the lead character's name Kimba, which, you know, sounds a lot like Simba the Lion King. Again, Disney was accused following the release of Monsters Inc. for taking story elements from the 1989 movie Little Monster, in which monsters work by scaring kids in their beds. Finally, once again, following Toy Story, many people said this was a lot like the 1983 movie A Christmas Toy, during which toys come to life when children aren't around. In at number 7, Pumbaa is the first Disney character to fart. So a problem-free philosophy isn't so problem-free when you have to worry about farting. Pumbaa from the 1994 movie The Lion King was the first ever Disney character to fart. So flatulence was ignored for like many years. I understand though, parping isn't exactly the stuff of fairy tales. In at number 6, Tom Sawyer Island was once seized by hippies. Now, in order to protest the strict Disney dress code in 1970, 750 hippies staged a smoke-in on Tom Sawyer Island, and they even raised the Viet Cong flag. Basically, this is because Disney would reject people from entering the park if they had long hippie-like hair. So following the invasion, Disney was not happy and responded by shutting the park and calling the police. In at number 5, Disney says ugly people are nasty people. What do you have to do to be a beautiful Disney princess? Well, be good, of course. What if genetics and unfortunate accidents don't work in your favor? Well, you must be some kind of witch or hateful beast. Sorry. Time and time again in Disney, we see beauty as kindness. Now, this is totally fair, but ugly is often considered to be evil. For example, in Snow White, the Wicked Queen puts on an ugly peasant disguise as she goes about her evil biddings. The ugly sisters are Cinderella's enemies, and the Beast is a literal horned creature until Belle shows him goodness. Then the only way for him to turn good and to love her is to become handsome again, because obviously. Also, Ursula, well, she must have skipped out on the good genes of Triton and Ariel and her sisters. Should have been nicer, I guess. In the modern times, I would say things have changed a little bit, but as it stood in the mid-1900s up until the 90s, this seemed to be the direction that the character profiling was going. In at number 4, Snow White was paid peanuts. The iconic voice for Snow White was delivered by Adriana Caselotti, who had a brief career as a chorus girl for MGM Studios until Disney hired her to be the voice of Snow White. Now, she was paid just $970 for the job, equivalent to around $15,000 today. So whilst $15,000 may seem like a lot of money for a voice job, it really wasn't, especially as Disney demanded that she never work again. He said, "I'm sorry, but that voice can't be used anywhere. I don't want to spoil the illusion of Snow White." So the maker of her career was also the nail in its coffin, and when she did work, she had to remain uncredited. In at number 3, Disney park workers have been linked to sex crimes. So in less than 10 years, 35 Disney employees have been arrested on child sex charges, and this is just in and around Florida. Now, 32 of those cases have resulted in convictions. One such accused worker was a character actor at Disney World Florida who was accused of sending nudes to what he thought was a 13-year-old boy. Unfortunately, as the Polk County Sheriff pointed out in 2012, where you find children, you will find sexual predators. Disney has responded by saying it does its utmost to put extensive measures in place to protect children and to stop predators being employed. In at number 2, there are cancer warnings in Disneyland, California. Okay, so I actually recently went to Disneyland, California, and I can confirm that there are a scary number of signs around that warn visitors of a risk of birth defects and cancer. Now the sign reads, "Warning, the Disneyland Resort contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects or other reproductive harm." So basically an investigation found out that there were very high levels of lead in common attractions such as the Sword in the Stone, Minnie's House, and Cinderella's Castle. Scary. Okay guys, so we have reached that all-important moment in our most amazing top 10 shocking facts about Disney Part 3. Are you ready? I'm giving it to you. In at number 1, some waters in Disney World are filled with alligators. Now this one is actually very sad and very recent. Disney World, Florida was recently at the center of a tragedy when a 2-year-old boy from Nebraska was staying at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa Hotel at Disney World. He was playing near the Seven Seas Lagoon and he was taken by an alligator. So despite there being no alligator warnings at the lagoon, the boy was dragged away and drowned by a gator. So in the search for the boy, 6 alligators were caught and killed before the one which killed 2-year-old Lane Graves was found. It was later admitted that the alligator population was not being monitored and that they had no idea how many gators were living in the waters surrounding the parks. It's really sad. Okay, coming in at number 10 of our shocking facts about Disney Part 4, poo. Yes, poo. Not Winnie the, just poo. Poo. I mean, it's okay to say. Sometimes it's fun to say poo. Have you ever walked in Liberty Square in Disneyland and wondered what the brownish path is all about? Now apparently it's meant to represent raw sewage flowing through the streets of colonial America. That's the era that Liberty Square represents. Gross! Coming in at number 9, Toy Story 2 was accidentally deleted. Oh no, that would have been one massive balls up. Can you imagine if you were responsible? While Disney Pixar were working on Toy Story 2, an employee ran a Unix command that accidentally deleted all of the work done on the film. Uh-oh. They thought that they were totally screwed until it was discovered that a pregnant animator who was just starting her maternity leave actually had a copy of the data on her home computer. She had this to allow her to work from home once her baby was born, and she literally saved the day. Coming in at number 8, gay Disney characters have caused uproar. Disney now has some openly gay characters, which is great for diversity. However, the most recent gay Disney character, LeFou in the live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast, was so offensive to some people, boycotts were organised. Boycotters included a movie theatre in Alabama, a group of evangelicals, and some MPs in Russia. Russia reportedly gave the movie a 16+ rating to discourage children from being exposed to the gay character. With that in mind, Russia really won't like what is coming in at number 7. There is a petition online to give Disney's Elsa a girlfriend. Frozen 2 is coming. It has been confirmed. As we know from the first movie, Elsa is a strong, independent woman who really doesn't seem interested in getting married or even meeting a guy. For me, I find this pretty refreshing. However, some have decided that Disney needs to go one step further and confirm Elsa's sexuality by giving her a girlfriend. When the new movie was announced, the hashtag Give Elsa a Girlfriend started trending. Then came the online petition. Even Elsa voice Idina Menzel is up for it. Coming in at number 6, there's a naughty drawing in Monsters Inc. Okay, this has actually been exposed as totally fake, but I thought I would mention it because it comes up in a lot of similar lists. As Sully comes through Boo's door in Monsters Inc., there's a drawing on the wall. The drawing in the movie is totally harmless, but people have doctored the picture to show a kid's drawing of a man bending over a lady with the caption Uncle Roger and Mummy. Someone has even worked magic on YouTube doctoring the scene, but in reality, in the real footage, it just isn't there. Coming in at number 5, the Pirates of the Caribbean ship sank in Hurricane Sandy. A ship used in the filming of Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest met its demise during 2012's Hurricane Sandy. The ship was used to represent the Edinburgh Trader and saw the likes of Johnny Depp and other cast members during filming. It was also used in the 1990 movie Treasure Island. Unfortunately, its dock on the North Carolina coast was hard hit by Sandy and the ship sunk, killing one crew member. Coming in at number 4, if you're called a treasured guest at a Disney park, you suck. Treasured guest is the terminology used when a member of the public is being unruly, essentially being an absolute pain in the buttocks. Being too much of a treasured guest can land you in Disney jail, and yes, there is a Disney jail. The jail is basically a holding area for people who are about to be thrown out of the park. So guys, you do not want to be a treasured guest. Coming in at number 3, there is full frontal nudity in a Disney film. What? Disney and nudity? Yep, that's right, it is true. In a few frames of Disney's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit is in a car accident and she's thrown from the vehicle onto the ground. As she is thrown, she parts her legs and we see her bare crotch. This is said to be a colouring error, but I don't know, Jessica's always seemed a little bit cheeky to me. If anyone's gonna go commando, I'm thinking it's Jessica Rabbit. Okay, this next shocking fact about Disney blew my mind. Coming in at number 2, Doritos were invented in Disneyland. No! The original product was made at Casa de Fritos at Disneyland in California in the 1960s. The vice president of marketing of Frito-Lay, who did regular deals with one of the providers of food at Disneyland, tasted the crisp, loved it so much that they insisted that they bought the rights. So next time you're tucking into a bag of Doritos, thank Disney. Okay, finally, a truly shocking fact. The Frozen director confirmed that Tarzan is Elsa and Anna's brother. No way! Like, no. Surely not. What? Apparently co-director Chris Buck said that Anna and Elsa's parents were pregnant when they sailed on that ship. As we know, the ship got into trouble, but he said that it actually washed up wrecked on a beach. They had a baby boy, the parents built a treehouse, but then they were eaten by a leopard. It's always unfortunate. Their son was raised by gorillas, which, hold on a minute, isn't that Tarzan's story? Buck said, in my head, Anna and Elsa's brother is Tarzan. I mean, what a bombshell. That is actually even more shocking than when I found out that Ursula is Titan's sister. I mean, there's so much intertwining.